The thoroughbred is a magnificent animal, bred for speed, bred to compete, the sport of kings.
Wow, West Coast has it by 6.
It's the all-new Let's Go Racing from Parks Casino and Racetrack. It's action-packed and fun for the entire family.
3 of them are right together with 1 furlong to go.
Let's Go Racing is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association. It's fun to see them run.
Welcome to Let's Go Racing. Danny Gibson here with Dick Girardi, and of course we're coming to you from Parks Racing here on the 3rd floor. On today's show, we will talk about the passing of Michael Bellezzi, a longtime executive director here for the PTHA, and of course Flightline put on a stellar performance in the Grade 1 TVG Pacific Classic. But our lead story is with heavy hearts. Michael Bellezzi did pass away at home at the age of 76. He meant a lot to all of us, not only with the PTHA, but here with Pennsylvania Racing. And he's going to be missed. He was a longtime executive director.
No question. For 25 years, Danny. Mike just retired at the end of 2021. Of course, Jeff Matty took over for Mike at that point. But yeah, look, if you think of all the things Mike was responsible for, involved with back here, most especially turning for home, which was, I think, the most significant thing he ever did. That's what he would tell you. And you told me, for a story I wrote, that he was the best boss you ever had.
Yeah, he made you feel that you could do and accomplish anything. You wanted to do good for him. And of course, I know he was really important to Danielle Montgomery. She had a lot of horse knowledge, but of course he taught her all about the business. And always putting the horses first and the horsemen first, and that's really what the PTHA stood for. And it was because of Michael Bellezzi for a lot of amazing things.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, Mike and Sal DeBunda, the PTHA president, made a great team, and if you think about all the improvements that have happened since slots came here, including the medical benefits, the pension, I mean, everything is the way they developed it over time. And yeah, look, Mike did an unbelievable job here, and he will really be missed.
Yeah, he will. Well, our very own Bruce Casella put together this very nice piece for what Mike Bellezzi meant to everybody. Here you go.
What we have is a city back here. I mean, we have a chaplain, we have a little police department, we have our association which takes care of a lot of other folks. They live in these dorms, they live and die here.
Mike Bellezzi was a champion to our horsemen and women, a Hall of Famer. And for 25 years, he represented all that is good about thoroughbred racing.
We celebrate those men and women who achieved excellence in their respective categories and thereby distinguished themselves in the Pennsylvania thoroughbred horse racing industry.
I don't think there's anyone in the last, well, since this place opened in 74, that has been more important to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania racing. The things that Mike Bellezzi accomplished, you can't put it into words.
And had this legislation not been signed this year, we would have had a mass exodus from the backside of Philadelphia Park.
His leadership brought the PTHA health care benefits, a pension, and a place to call home year-round.
That's why I'm here. That's why I stay here. The program has been great. I've been here for over 30 years, and one thing I hate to do is move every 3 months all over the place. So this is home for me. When I leave here, I'm done. I'm going to retire.
For some, Mike Bellezzi and the PTHA at Parks meant a place to make a good living. But for others, like Roger Brown, the PTHA literally saved his life.
Mike has caused me to be alive because they've spent over $2 million on me in hospital bills in the last 5 years. And I owe it all to Mike. It's just one thing after another.
His foresight to see that the horsemen need medical benefits was fantastic. Our medical program is, I don't think there's another racetrack in the country that it matches ours.
The healthcare here is the best. I have 3 kids, wife, everything, and we're really grateful to have a good healthcare program here.
Over the 25 years, Mike Bellezzi stood for progress, negotiating with Parks management to rebuild the backstretch, creating a Horsemen's Purchasing Association, along with his vision to create Turning for Home, helping our horses find new homes and a new purpose when their racing is done.
It feels so good that we can retire a horse and know that he's safe. And that is a program that is just unbelievable.
I retire a lot of horses, and I know for sure that they're not going to the killers or someplace that they shouldn't be. So that worked wonders for me.
For all his efforts and leadership, Mike will be honored every year with the running of the Mike Bellezzi Appreciation Mile in recognition of his service to all horsemen and women at Parks Racing.
we have dedicated ourselves and our lives, and certainly I've dedicated my professional life, to ensuring that Parks Racing is superb in every way, that we provide the best venue for racing, that we support our horsemen and women and the backstretch employees, that we support them in terms of retirement plans, in return of health care, and the best facility we could provide.
I just want to say thank you to Mike Bellezzi for all he's accomplished here at Parks, for all the trainers here. I just want to put it out there that he's done so much for us with our retirement, with our workman's comp, supporting and defending us in everything.
Mike, you've been a great guy, always a stand-up guy, and like I said, the voice of reason in some really murky waters through the whole COVID thing, and really appreciate everything you've done for this organization, for all the people, for the horsemen, for the horses. Mike, we love you.
What a touching video. I mean, great job by Bruce Casella to put somebody's career that did so much and touch that many people. I mean, if I could help that many people, I would feel so lucky, but what a great job to put that in a video.
Yeah, no, and I think everybody that was out here on Monday really appreciated it, Danny. And of course, we had the moment of silence right at that same time. I don't know, over 100 people in a winner's circle. And Bruce and I got a chance to catch up to some of the people who knew Mike the best right after that.
John, can you describe Mike's impact on the horseman for as long as you've known him, and certainly in his 25 years as executive director back there?
Well, I think to really appreciate it, you have to travel to other tracks as much as I do and hear the other horsemen. Drives them crazy. They're like, how did you get this done? How did you get that done? You know, how did you get Turning for Home so popular? And everywhere we go, New York, Maryland, you know, when we have our national meeting, Mike was a big, you know, guys would call him all the time. You know, we need help doing this. You know, he championed Turning for Home. A lot of the states have followed in that suit and done very well with retiring horses and stuff. The insurance program, other states have started to do it, and it's becoming a little popular as far as pension and stuff like that. I don't know any other racetrack or any other state that has that. So, you know, everybody here, I think, because we've been so fortunate, we kind of take it for granted. But when you go to other tracks and you see how things are and you hear, you know, what we have and what they don't have, it's pretty strong.
I learned a lot just hanging around Mike Bellezzi. And we won some golf outings. We won the first annual symposium in Tucson. And we had a good time. And, you know, God bless Mike Bellezzi, and I hope he's in a great place right now. We'll all miss him. We really will.
You know, Dick, I think the way to sum it up is he meant everything to this place. You know, from the moment he took over, he championed the idea that the people were first and foremost, and the four-legged animals came right behind with Turning for Home. And I think, unlike any other track, Mike knew that. He knew the assets, he knew the people, and he knew the horses, and he built everything around it. So, you know, I grew up looking up to him, and to be able to take over for him, it's sort of surreal. You know, I'm 8 months in, but it hasn't hit me yet. To fill his shoes, impossible.
Mike touched the lives of every single person on that backstretch in a positive way. There's no way to quantify the positive impact he had on the racing program here and all the people who participate in it. Mike was a fighter. He would do everything in his power to advance the agenda of the Horsemen's Association in so many areas: horsemen's purchasing, Turning for Home, health care, and pension. And those are the things that provide the quality of life for the people who work back here, and Mike was instrumental in bringing all of those programs forward.
Well, it was a great day to remember Mike, and of course we're going to have the Michael Bellezzi Appreciation Mile in October, and we're going to make it a great day, of course honoring Mike as well, and a great day of racing.
Right, the first year for the MP Bellezzi Appreciation Mile was 2019, and obviously this will be a special renewal here in 2022.
Sure will. And we're going to head to our first break, but Flightline, something that you may never see again, and it was really spectacular to see, but we're going to talk about that coming back on Let's Go Racing.
Flavion Pratt and Flightline are an embarrassing lead. It must be 15 lengths as they turn for home now.
This year, Parks Racing is proud to announce the 2022 Grade 1 Pennsylvania Derby is now the Bet Parks Pennsylvania Derby. Join us on Saturday, September 24th for all the graded stakes action. 10 stakes races total, including 5 graded stakes races, the free hat giveaway, and fun for the whole family, where parking and admission are always free. Highlighted by the Grade 1 Cotillion Stakes and the Grade 1 Bet Parks Pennsylvania Derby. Gates open at 11 a.m. First post time is 12:05. Join us on Saturday, September 24th for the biggest day of racing in Pennsylvania.
If you want action and you want it now, you got to get the new Parks Racing mobile app. Wager and watch thoroughbred and harness racing from around the world. With the Parks Racing mobile app, it's easy to open and fund your account. Then place your wagers and cheer on your horse as they thunder down the stretch. With the Parks Racing mobile app, you'll easily make withdrawal requests, view the previous day's replays and results. Plus, open any new account now and you'll be automatically enrolled in a Parks Rewards program. The more you wager, the more you earn. Get the new Parks Racing mobile app and get in on the action. Welcome back to Let's Go Racing. Our national coverage is brought to you by the Chapman Auto Group. If their emblem's not on the back of your car truck, well, you paid too much. And let's get to the big race that everybody's talking about from Del Mar. It's the $1 million Grade 1 TVG.com Pacific Classic, going 1.25 miles, and of course our flight line at 1 to 5.
So flight line is in, Danny, against the Dubai World Cup winner, the Santa Anita Handicap winner. He's going around 2 turns for the first time. He's going 1.25 miles the first time. And the bettor said, yeah, okay, and made him, as you just said, 1 to 5.
Well, he's our favorite. Here's the call of the TVG Pacific Classic.
Flightline is in the center of the track now. He's going to be caught wide at this stage, but he might drop in later. He's getting over a little. In behind that comes Royal Ship, and on the outside, Stiletto Boy Express Train. No more than 2.5 lengths separates the lot. And let's see, Flightline's going to go on with it now. He's caught a little wide, but Flightline goes up to join Extra Hope as the pace setters. In behind that, we have Express Train. Country Grammar scrapes the paint in the white, just 2 lengths separates all those runners. Then comes Stiletto Boy and Royal Ship, impatiently ridden by Mike Smith, content to trail early, 5 off them. Down the backstretch they go. Extra Hope at the rail. Flightline now right up alongside and pretty keen to go on. Express Train is a joint third. Country Grammar at this stage is 4.5 lengths off the favourite. Behind that comes Royal Ship and Stiletto Boy. 1/2 mile to go, and Flightline doesn't want to wait. Flightline's picked up the running now, and he kicks on to lead it by a length with 1/2 mile to go, and now he's widening. Flightline makes it 2, now 3 as they go into the far turn. Extra Hope is next. Country Grammar down at the rail. Stiletto Boy, Express Train, and still last is Royal Ship's going to come running, but he's got a good 10 lengths to make up on Flightline. Let's see, 1/4 mile to go in the Pacific Classic. Flavion Pratt and Flightline are an embarrassing lead. It must be 15 lengths as they turn for home now. And let's see, Flavion Pratt just shakes the reins at Flightline. And take a good look at this, because you're not going to see this too often, maybe never again. Flightline, 20 lengths clear. Flavion Pratt takes a hold and canters in the TVG Pacific Classic.
Flightline gets the win, and I don't think any superlative I could even say could do him justice, but performance of my lifetime for sure.
Yeah, I mean, look, it was, and every time you bring this name up here, it was Secretariat Belmont like. That's what you felt like when you were watching it, when he just moved away from the field on the turn. He won by 19 lengths. Second highest buyer figure in the 30 years they've been published, a 126. Only Gosapper in the 2004 Island with a 128 has gone faster. Beat the Dubai World Cup winner by 19 lengths. Beat the Santa Anita Handicap winner by 27 lengths. That's a really serious racehorse. We're going to see him next in the Breeders' Cup Classic, where he will be the overwhelming favorite against even a stronger field. If Life is Good can get there, an Epicenter, and all the good horses. But look, he's by Tappet. He's worth, I don't know, 80 million, 100 million as a stallion. I don't know what the number is. He could succeed Tappet. And it's interesting that a half-brother by Curlin was up, going to be in the Keeneland sale, and the owner said, nah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Pulled him out of the sale. She wants to race the horse herself.
Smart move. Yeah, it was like 2 separate races were going on Flightline, and then the balance. And, you know, I just have one question before we move on. What did Extra Hope think when Flightline loomed up on the outside of him? Who Extra Hope is a nice horse in himself. Yeah, he was 50-1 because he's up against Flightline, who was 1-5. But
he thought that I'm not winning this race.
Yeah.
And I thought Bob Baffert had one of the best lines with Country Grammar, the Dubai World Cup. He said, look, we're not trying to win the race. He told Johnny V, don't go near this horse. Just try to get second, and that's what they did.
And that's what they did in a great race for sure. Well, let's jump to Parks. It was our PTHA Owners Appreciation Day here at Parks. We had a really nice $75,000 allowance race. It was Monday's 10th race, the PTHA's Owner Appreciation Classic, and Dr. B's our favorite.
Dr. B, named after Dr. Jill Biden, the First Lady. Of course, Chuck Zackney, one of the owners, along with LC Racing and Glenn Bennett. And I'm curious about the conversation between the two because they're of different political persuasions. But apparently Chuck gets the name riding with Biden and Dr. B. So I know I've talked to Glenn about it. He's not all that thrilled. But you know what? The good news is the horse is really good.
Yeah, and Glenn's laid back. He rolls
Glenn
with it. And our second choice is Liam's Light, a daughter of Liam's Map for Kelly Breen.
Yeah, Kelly Breen, when he comes into Parks, he usually comes in with a really good horse, so that's the case here.
Here's the call of our PTHA's Owner Appreciation Classic with Chris Griffin.
Philadelphia Belle, having none of that, has now taken command. Up on the outside, here comes Dr. B and Frankie Pennington about to engage. Stand-up comic, the stablemate, and they battle it out for second. Then comes Liam's Light from the fourth position, the trailer, Excitable Lady. Action-packed first quarter. They went 22 seconds flat for that opening quarter mile. Philadelphia Belle and Ruben Silvera going to try and take them all the way now. Here's Dr. B ranging up on the outside. Stand-up comic is trying to re-rally to the inside, is driven along from third. Liam's Light, Michael Sanchez, they're tipping outside, not cutting the margin yet. The trailer, Excitable Lady. They've got to catch Philadelphia Belle, who's still doing it nicely, is up by a full length, approaching a quarter mile to go. Dr. B is chasing her up on the outside, and here comes Dr. B. Stand-up comic wants off the rail, tips into the three path. They reach the top of the stretch. Philadelphia Belle is still in front, but Dr. B is now in full gear in the center of the racetrack. They're nose and nose for a final furlong. Dr. B, but a very game Philadelphia Belle is trying to come back and not. Dr. B has pushed on by. It's Dr. B up by 2 widening lengths, and Dr. B is too good.
Dr. B with a big win with jockey Frankie Pennington, who really rode her hard coming home. He wanted that win.
Indeed he did. 86 Buyer, that ties her career best. She's a pretty cool horse and getting better, as many of Butch Reed's horses have a tendency to do.
You had to think in her last race when she ran second to Goodnight Olive, who won the Grade 1 Ballerina.
Right.
She was coming in good form.
Yeah, that was telling you something, that she was good enough to run second, as you said, to the Chad Brown filly who came back and won that race.
Butch said he's on to something. He's going to run all his horses at Saratoga and then come here and just dominate.
It's a little, nothing against Parks, a touch easier when you come back to Parks.
Yeah. Well, let's go to Saratoga since we're talking about it. It was the Grade 1 Jockey Club Gold Cup, 1 mile and a quarter, $1 million race. And Olympiad is our favorite for trainer Bill Mott with Junior Alvarado.
Yeah, Olympiad was having a tremendous 2022, 5 for 5 until he ran into Life is Good. And Danny, it's one thing when you're chasing moderate fractions, it's a whole other thing when you're chasing Life is Good. Olympiad faded in that race, but obvious favorite here.
American Revolution takes second choice for Top Pletcher and gets Joel Rosario. We don't see this team up a whole lot.
No, we do not. This horse was second in the Stephen Foster 2 Olympiad, and can he improve? He's by Constitution, over $1 million. Ran here in the PA Derby last year. Ran pretty good third behind Hot Rod Charlie.
And a nice race of older horses here. We saw Uriah win this race, but here's the call of the Jockey Club Gold Cup.
And it is Tex who has the lead here. Olympiad runs in second through a quarter in 24 and 2/5 seconds. Down at the rail is Untreated. And then it is American Revolution, who sits in mid-pack and fourth, but just 3 lengths from the lead. Chess Chief, First Captain, those two are right together. And at the back are Dynamic One and Keep Me in Mind. The field is moving up the backstretch. Tex has the lead here with Olympiad just behind in second. American Revolution and Untreated right together, third and fourth. And then it's 2 lengths to First Captain in fifth. The opening half mile went in 49 and 3/5 seconds. It is still Tex holding on to the lead. Olympiad, American Revolution, and down at the rail is Untreated. First Captain runs in fifth. Keep Me in Mind has moved up a few spots into sixth. Then Chess Chief and Dynamic One. And now they begin the run into the far turn. 3/4 went in 1, 13 and 2. Tex is still on top here with Olympiad in between horses and American Revolution on the outside. Now three of them are right together. Untreated races in fourth. First Captain is fifth, and on the far outside it is Keep Me in Mind. And now Olympiad strikes the lead at the top of the stretch. It's Olympiad in front. On the outside is American Revolution now coming to him. Olympiad has the lead with 3/16 to the finish. And then American Revolution. Olympiad in front inside the eighth pole. Then American Revolution. Down at the rail is Untreated. They're inside the 16th pole. And Olympiad leads American Revolution. Olympiad gets the gold in the Jockey Club Gold Cup.
And it was Olympiad's day and Junior Alvarado. And what a team up between Bill Mott and Junior Alvarado. Of course, they had that big win with Cody's Wish, defeating Jackie's Warrior. But they team up together for a lot for big wins.
Look, in a normal year, you would say, hey, Olympiad's up for possible horse of the year, right? I mean, he's won 6 races, graded stakes, grade 1s. But this is not a normal year.
No.
He's not as good as Life is Good. And nobody's as good as Flightline. So Olympiad, Bill Mott says, look, we're going for the Breeders' Cup Classic. We'll be there. Good luck.
Yep. They'll have to have their running shoes on. Well, we're going to head to another break. When we come back, our Jockey and Trainer of the Week. More on race recaps, so stick around. We'll be right back.
Turning for Home is a nonprofit that has provided nearly 2,800 former racehorses with a safe retirement. The program was created through the foresight of the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association.
We all love animals, and to give back to something that helps us so much, it's a great thing.
Responding to the need for a better system that addressed the uncertain future for the retiring equine population at Parks Racing, the PTHA rallied horsemen to support the program.
These horses can do anything from hunter jumpers to Western to therapeutic riding.
Turning for Home became the first on-track retirement program at a year-round racetrack.
We want to make sure that our horses that have run so well for us over the years get the great opportunity to get a new vocation.
Out of everything that we've done in Pennsylvania for racing, I think that's the thing we can be most proud of.
If you would like to help these amazing animals find a great second career and forever home, please give us a call or contact us at turningforhome.org.
Welcome back to Let's Go Racing. Our Jockey and Trainer of the Week is brought to you by Turning for Home, our racehorse retirement program here at Parks. And this is kind of a combo, but Jockey of the Week is Jeremy Laprida, because anytime you see him teamed up with our Trainer of the Week, Felix Flores-Coba, they're winning.
Yeah, they're hot. They're on a roll. If you see them together, just go to the windows.
Oh, yeah, and you get a pretty good price, too. And Jeremy's a really good rider, so it's good to see him getting those wins. Well, let's jump to it. Race recap up at Saratoga. It's the $300,000 Grade 1 hopeful stakes for 2-year-olds going 7 furlongs.
So we're already looking forward to next year's Triple Crown, right? Gulfport is the big favorite for Steve Asmussen. Is in front, but really kind of wide here with Flavian Pratt on closing day in the mud at Saratoga. And coming up, really, the wide open inside, Forte for Rapoli Stable and St. Elias and Todd Pletcher and Irad Ortiz. The win going away, 92 buyer, Son of Violence.
Yeah, in the mud, in the slop. We just saw a nice Violent Sun, Violent Turbulence win our Parks Dash here and paid pretty good, $15.80 for the win.
You don't see that Pletcher and Irad pay $15.
You certainly don't. Well, let's stay at Saratoga and let's stay with the 2-year-olds. It's the Spinaway. It's a Grade 1, $300,000 for our fillies, also going 7 furlongs.
Yeah, and Wonder Wheel is the big favorite here, 7-5 shot, and has a pretty good chance to win it, but how about my man Phil Serpent getting it done with Leave No Trace. Winner Maiden against New York Breds wins this one at 14-1. Now, Danny, this is only a 76 buyer. I talked to Butch Reed. He's not afraid of any of these, so I think we might see this group and Viderio back in the Frizette at now Aqueduct at Belmont, since they're not running at Belmont.
Yep, Belmont at the Big A. I heard them talking about it yesterday in the racing office. I was listening. I'll be going there in October to cheer on our girl Viderio in the Frizette, that's for sure. Well, it's time for Eye on Racing, and Delmar's still rolling. They got the Grade 1 Delmar Debutante. That's their feature race that day, and 5 stakes at Kentucky Downs.
Yeah, Kentucky Downs it's one of the weirder places, but the money they throw around, everybody shows up. So yeah, they run around. I don't know how long that course is, and the closing of Delmar at Saratoga is closed, and what does this mean? We're getting closer and closer to the Pennsylvania Derby. I believe, Danny, if I'm doing my math right, it's 2 weeks from today. Do I have that right?
I think you're right.
do.
We're getting excited. It's going to be a day to remember. Make sure you come join us. Well, we're going to head to our final break. When we come back, we're doing something new in News and Notes. We're going to preview one of Monday's race, and me and Dick have lots to say about it, so stick around.
This year, Parks Racing is proud to announce the 2022 Grade 1 Pennsylvania Derby is now the Bet Parks Pennsylvania Derby. Join us on Saturday, September 24th for all the graded stakes action. 10 stakes races total, including 5 graded stakes races. The free hat giveaway and fun for the whole family, where parking and admission are always free. Highlighted by the Grade 1 Cotillion Stakes and the Grade 1 Bet Parks Pennsylvania Derby. Gates open at 11 a.m. First post time is 12:05. Join us on Saturday, September 24th for the biggest day of racing in Pennsylvania.
If you want action and you want it now, you got to get the new Parks Racing mobile app. Wager and watch thoroughbred and harness racing from around the world. With the Parks Racing mobile app, it's easy to open and fund your account. Then place your wagers and cheer on your horse as they thunder down the stretch. With the Parks Racing mobile app, you'll easily make withdrawal requests, view the previous day's replays and results. Plus, open any new account now and you'll be automatically enrolled in the Parks Rewards program. The more you wager, the more you earn. Get the new Parks Racing mobile app and get in on the action.
Racehorses are pampered,
treated with care, and loved.
Nothing is more important than their health and their safety.
We do right by them,
and they do right by us.
the hard-working folks
Who proudly earn our living.
In Pennsylvania's horse racing,
and breeding industries.
Horse racing is a lot of fun.
but it's so much more.
It provides tens of thousands of jobs,
Jobs and billions in economic impact each year.
all across the Commonwealth.
Horse racing in Pennsylvania. It's a winner.
Welcome back to Let's Go Racing. Let's get into news and notes. And Dick, let's talk about our race coming up on Monday. It's going to be the 5th race. It's an optional claiming $16,000, a mile and 70 for a $32,000 person. There's a real standout horse in here.
Look, our story is Ruby Blue. I mean, this is such a cool horse, Danny. I mean, 83 lifetime starts, 19 wins, 16 seconds, 15 thirds, closing on 800,000. And literally, like every trainer at Parks at one time or another has had this horse. Right, I was just looking through some of the names: Scott Lake, Jamie Ness, Kate DeMasi. I mean, I could go on, but Joe Taylor did the best. Won almost $500,000 with this horse. And how about first start for Ruby Blue? August 11th of 2016, and still going strong 6 years later.
He really is. If you've ever been around him, he is a cool horse. He loves his job. Kendrick Carmouche said if all the racehorses were like him, he's a fun horse to be around. He loves carrots. He loves his apples. And he's a Pennsylvania bred. Well, we're talking about Pennsylvania Derby because it is coming fast. And we have some exciting news. We have someone doing Riders Up.
So Jameer Nelson, the 2004 National Player of the Year at St. Joe's, 2009 NBA All-Star, will be here to do the Riders Up presentation. Will be on PHL 17 from 4:30 to 6:30, and yeah, don't miss it. PA Derby Day 2 weeks from today.
Maybe sign some autographs as well.
Oh,
really
yes, he
cool.
will.
Well, we're still on Sirius Radio. Check us out on Saturdays at 11 a.m., Channel 85. And of course, we race here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, post time 12:55. Well, thanks for joining us this week on Let's Go Racing. Dick and I will see you next week.
And they're off. Speaker's Corner has early speed. Hot Rod Charlie, Midnight Bourbon, American Revolution. American Revolution, a 16th to go. Hot Rod Charlie is opening up. Hot Rod Charlie will win the Pennsylvania